Hello everyone. We did a little video yesterday about Swap Frieza using Dende, and today we're going to do two decks. We're going to do one fun deck, which is what the video is kind of about, which is Swap Frieza that also runs the Frost package, and then we're going to do more of a serious what would a real Swap Frieza deck look like if you wanted to do just swap engine stuff. So we'll start with this. Basically, there's the traditional swap package of the 1, 2, 3, and then for the 5 we picked the red-blue Frieza just because it's board wipes, so in a way it's stronger than the traditional just red one. You can, if you want to do like a 2-2 split, are all 4 of the red ones, but I think you should have some number of the red-blue just because of the board wipe. And then in addition to having the regular swap package, we have a Frost Evolve package. So the 1-drop, if you pay 2 energy, you look at the top 7 of your deck and pick up Frost with Evolve, which all these Frosts have Evolve, and evolve it onto the card. So basically turn 1 you can play it, turn 2 you can use its ability and get, like, this is a triple striker. The 5-drop, are the other 2 are double strikers. And the reason this is relevant, why you would use the new Frieza leader, which hits Frieza clan, so it's searchable, is one of the reasons. The other reason is if he's awakened, he can give crit during active battle. And since all of them are either double or triple strike, you're basically looking at a whole bunch of double or triple strike crits with these. So, and the thing is, because it looks at top 7, it's about like a 95% chance of hitting if there are 0 frosts in your life or hand. Let's say you only 9 of the 12 targets are left in deck, then we're looking at about a 89% chance of hitting, which is still pretty good, like a 90% chance. So odds are you're gonna hit a frost when you use this, and it's a double striker that potentially can do crit. The 4-drop Frost can just KO bigger guys after the battle as it's auto, and it can also, if your opponent's not awake, can just deal the damage to them anyway, 1 damage. So that's pretty relevant. The 3 cost in the later game, you can just cast it, and it's essentially double strike crit for 4 if you count the active battle. And that's basically the deck. Other than that, it's got 4 topos, 2 Explodinus Vegetas, the SCR, just the mono red Frieza, because this is mono red. You're never going to charge the 5-drop, so you're not going to have blue energy. The super combo doesn't really matter. You can't search the Jace, and the Jace does 0 until you're at 5 life, which is why we just picked the Bulma, because 4 versus 5 is the same thing in this deck. 3 Denial of Hope and 4 Paralysis techniques. So the reason why I picked Paralysis technique over, like, is that all you've got or something, is with things like the baby leader, you're also hitting their leader. So people are going to play around the fact that Frieza not build big boards. So is that all you've got does nothing if someone doesn't have a board. It's just a 1 cost negate. This is basically better than is that all you've got in a lot of cases, since it's going to do your 1 cost negate, it's going to neg the leader, and then if they do have anything out, it negs it without discarding. So that's basically the fun swap Frost deck. A little Frost engine with 3 viable targets for the 1-drop Frost, and then the standard Frieza swap package with some just mono red good stuff in the deck. Now let's go over a actual more competitive swap Frieza deck. And so this one is all out going on the swap Frieza. You'll notice we still use this leader over the original one. So the original one can self-awaken, but right now we're in a very aggro-heavy format, so you don't really need to self-awaken. If this was a control-heavy format, I'd say easily switch to the other leader. But the other leader really doesn't provide much that this doesn't do. This also sees 3 cards versus 2 cards. And it can also hit cooler while the other leader can't. That being said, you don't actually have to run the cooler in this deck. We've gone over a lot of these cards before, but we'd run 2 of the 1-drop Broly because it lets us scout our opponent's hand. 1-drop swap, 2-drop swap, 3-drop swap. And then we have both 5-drops. This is technically a little overboard, I would say, I don't think you need 8 5-drops. I would say keep 4 of the multis and 2 of the reds. So it could be something like this. So let's just move this over here. There we go. So we'd end up with only 2 of those. So we'd have 2 more slots. So with those 2 slots, what would I do? I'd say I'd add another thing you can swap onto. So this guy is from the new set. When you play him, you get to look at the top 5 for Frieza clan, add to your hand, and he's at 15k. So what you do is, let's say you don't have your full chain of swap. Well, play the 1-drop anyway. It's going to go back to your hand when you swap it. And you can for free swap it into this. So you'll have the 15k beater and you'll get to search for pieces. So it's a win-win. So I would say you want to basically add 2 of these to the deck. So just gonna make this boy smaller and add him to the deck real quick. So you take out 2 of the red Friezas and you'd add in 2 of these. And that's what my recommendation would be for this deck if you wanted to make it a little bit more consistent and remove some of the like unnecessary, like you don't need that many 5-drops, so why run it? So that's what you would do to fix a deck first of all, because a lot of time when people build deck, they just throw 4 of everything in. And this is me showing you live how you would adjust the ratios, because I wanted to give an example of what a raw deck would look like. So you take out those 2 5s and you'd add in 2 of these, and this gives you another line off your 1-drop other than just swapping up. Because if you don't have a 3-drop to play, well, why would you play the 2? Also, if you're playing the 1, you need to be able to turn the 2 to the 3 right away because it has barrier. Before that, it's not protected. So this gives you a line where if you don't have the 3, you go 1 into this, search your pieces, and the next one you can just play the 1 again. It's back in your hand. That's because you can swap. So that's what we have. And then we have the alternate swap, which is, the championship pack 2-drop, which can go into the 3-drop or into the barrier 3-drop cell. Or not cell, wow, Frieza. Thinking of the wrong leader. We'll talk about Frieza or Cell another day when his stuff's revealed. 3 paralysis only. 4 of the combination attack because it's multicolor. 3 of the denial of hopes, 4 super combos. And 2 of the counter attack Friezas that lets you also play the 5-drops. If you really wanted to, you can, for example, side out the Broly's for Topos and stuff like that in game 2s. But I like having 2 Broly's in there just as a check. As the game gets later and you want to do a second swap, it's a good scout to see if you can do a second swap. So that's why I like having those 2 in the deck. It also just completely punishes people who plan to Topo you, or like UI Goku you. So it's a solid pick. In some matches you might even side in 1 or 2 more. So pretty quick video, I guess, quicker than yesterday because we went over 2 decks. But there you go. So we'll quickly look back at the other deck. So this was the fun deck, which is Frost's and basic swap package Frieza. In theory, you could make this deck right now. All the cards are available except for the 5-drop and the leader, but you can make it with the old leader and you can make it with the old 5-drop. The only thing I'd say is without the crit, this deck is a lot less good because the whole thing is you have double strike crits is why you run the Frost package. Otherwise, I think you can test the deck if you want with just all the old stuff and eventually change to the 5-drop Frieza and the new Frieza leader if you want to see how the deck plays and if you like it. So I would encourage you to do that. But other than that, I'd say basically this deck is waiting for the leader and at least 2 of this 5-drop because I think you want the board wipe. But I hope that was good for y'all, and we'll go over the other deck one last time, just because I can't put up deck list yet, but I will eventually. So this one is just all out on the Frieza, runs 4 of each of the swap pieces, and then the alternate swap of the championship pack, or pseudo swap. 2 of the counter freezes, and then, like I said, 8 of these 5 drops is too many. 6 is fine. Cut 2 of the red ones, and then add in 2 of these boys just as an alternate swap, because there's going to be those times when you just need to play aggressive cards and you don't want to go up a chain. And this is what you do. You play those guys for it. And for this deck, I say stick with this leader still. Like I said, I think this leader, although it's not amazing, he does a lot of good things for the swap deck itself. And if you do end up in a very controlling meta, that's when you switch to the other leader. Those times when you need the self-awakening, which you don't need it right now when you're facing Baby. Like, Baby will awaken you just fine, don't worry about it. So stick with this, try the other leader eventually when the meta gets slower, is my advice. Thank you guys again for watching. Have fun. Best of luck with your Swap Frieza decks. I'm probably not going to do a cooler video. It's a very nice mill deck, but I'm not going to go over it. This was just, I felt like I should show people regular Frieza swap, since I made a video yesterday, and it was a Swap Frieza deck, but it didn't use the Frieza leader. So I wanted to give people a base of what the deck would look like if you were trying to do a true Swap Frieza deck, not the gimmicky Wish deck. Bye everyone. Good luck with your games.